I think it's working. Yes, we're going live on Facebook and YouTube. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Welcome to our session today. This week, we are going to work on balance. So going back to some of the work we did earlier on balance. So today being breath work, we'll work on balancing the breath. So we'll do some stretches as usual to get the spine extended, to get the rib cage nice and open, get the breathing muscles working. Then we're going to do some work sitting, so have a chair ready or a bolster to sit on the floor. So let's start off first of all by some stretching. Just interlace the fingers like this, gently interlace the fingers. Let's just do the movement first, a little bit of bend in the knees, bringing the palms to chest height, then rotate, and then reach up, and then back down. Just a couple of movements, and then we'll bring the breath with it. So palms, rotate, reach up. You can look up as well. Then back down. Just keep going while I just let someone else into Zoom. I fell on Saturday as I was running, so this is really, I can feel this in my chest. So if I start creaking or I look a little bit lopsided, it's because my ribs are a little bit tight. Reach up, come back down. Bringing the breath with it. So just an easy, soft, light breath in through the nose. Breath out through the nose. Breath in through the nose. Breath out through the nose. In. Out. Let's do one more. Breath in. Breath out. And then just let the arms rest by the side for a minute. Bring the feet together, about hip width. The idea is to extend and lengthen up the spine, to lighten the upper body. With this one, watch that when you're stretching is that you're not overstretching, so you're not pulling the shoulders up. So really feel when you stretch up here, there's still a little bit of roundness in the arms. I'm not locking the arms out, and feel the swing of the ribs coming out to the side rather than lifting up too much. See if you can get that space down the side here. Another one, if we step out to shoulder width again, a little bit of bend in the knees. Let's do the movement first. Bring the arms up to the side and then cross the hands. So perhaps put the right hand in front of the left, so you've just got the palms together there. Same thing with the shoulders. Watch that you're not hiking the shoulders up. Cross the arms and then just do a little bit of a wiggle side to side, if you like, a little tiny, tiny side bend, and then back down. Shoulders relaxed as you're coming back down. And then again, cross the palms. So the palms you can cross the opposite way. So you're touching the palms there. Gentle movement side to side. Back down. Breathing in. Keep the breath in, breathing in as you just do that gentle movement side to side. And then out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Always go at your own pace on this. So you don't want the breath to be challenged. You want the breath to be nice and light, easy. You're certainly not pulling the breath into the body. I like the little side bends at the top because it almost like it's just creating that little bit of extra space as you're breathing in, but then you can just breathe a little bit more air in, breathing out. Let's do one more. And again, just take a rest. Balance. Should feel the shoulders starting to open up, the rib cage opening up, the lightness in the upper body. Step back out. One more stretch, then we'll do a couple of Qigong flows, and then we'll do our seated Physiological Sigh and some box breathing. So next one, palms crossed, one on top of the other. So I've just got like that. Really making sure that we're not hoiking the shoulders up on this one. A little bit of bend in the knees. Bring overhead so the shoulders, the elbows will bend a little bit. So you'll create like a triangular roof bit there. So I'm not hoiking the shoulders up, and then back, down, and then swap hands, one hand on top of the other. So just swap the hand, one hand on top of the other arm, come up. This is challenging for my ribs this morning, and then back down. But this is what I've been doing all weekend. I fell and I landed on the side of my ribs. And just these gentle stretches really helped, along with the breathing. So if we coordinate the breath, you're breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Let's do one more, breathing in, breathing out. And the arms by the side, balance. Step back out. The Qigong exercise, Buddha holds up the earth, is really good in terms of focusing on breath. So we'll go through the physical movement first, then we'll add the breath to it. So palms facing upwards. Again, that little bit of roundness in the elbows, softness in the arms. This is very similar to this one that we did at the beginning, but without connecting the fingers. So come up, palms to chest or heart center, spiral, and then it's like you're holding up the earth above your head, and then back down. Spiraling upwards. Adding the breath, breathing in, breathing out. And I say adding the breath, but actually what I want you to visualize is that the breath is guiding the movement. So we're practicing the movement first, and then the breath comes into the movement. But actually, when you want to get to that point where it's almost like the breath is guiding that movement rather than following the movement. See where you can soften and bring lightness into the upper body. But you'll also realize that the strength in your standing posture in the lower body. So really connect to the ground, root through the feet, through the heels, into the ground. Two more. Take a standing posture. We're going to add to that move a sound now on the out breath. In Qigong, there are various sounds which are called healing sounds, and they're fascinating. Really studying why these sounds are seen as healing. And if you look at it from a point of view of science, we've done the humming before. We know that vibration and humming creates increased nasal nitric oxide in the paranasal cavities here. And that nasal nitric oxide, when you breathe that in, then increases your oxygen uptake. So there's all the science behind that. So it's similar, I would think, with the healing sounds, but in Qigong, different types of sounds are used. So with this particular movement, what we're going to do is we're going to come to the top, and then rather than breathing out as we bring the arms down, we're going to breathe out at the top in this position with an s sound. So I think of it as like letting off steam. So it's like a s, and then breathe in. So let's have a go of that. Do a few of those. So get yourself balanced again, a little bit of bend in the knees. Strong and stable through the ground. Breathing in. Holding the position and then back down. So it's an S sound like snake, just in case the mic cuts it out thinking it's a background noise. Breathing in. and back down. So it's releasing tension, it's releasing tightness, breathing in. Releasing any stale or negative energy. Breathing in. Let's do one more. Breathing in. Cleansing and clearing. And then back down and into standing. Let's take a seat. So find a comfortable sitting position. So you can use a bolster or you can use a chair. Get yourself comfy. Make sure you can feel the sit bones. So you're really on your sitting bones and that your spine is tall, almost as if you've been lifted from the crown a little bit, but without being rigid. So I'm not tight, I'm not stiff here. Just rest your hands however you feel comfortable. You can rest your hands in your lap, you can rest them on your knees, palms up, palms down, whatever feels right for you. Shoulders relaxed. And we'll start off just tuning into the breath. So just let the breath be natural, normal, easy. Keep a soft gaze. So we'll keep our eyes open for this because we're focusing on being relaxed, but also being alert. So it's alert relaxation or alert calmness. And again, that little inner smile helps. Notice the breath in the nostrils. That's a very clear physical sensation. You can feel the air as it flows naturally in and out through the nose. And have that idea of very little movement there. So if I pull breath in, I really restrict the breath in. So you're getting less breath in. If I just relax and let the breath just flow naturally in and out through the nostrils. Here we're not changing anything. We're not controlling the breath at all. Now bring your awareness right down below the belly button. Right down a couple of inches below the belly button to that point in Qigong, the lower dantian. But really feel the breath or the response down here as you breathe in. So just let this belly soften. Let it soften here. So you're breathing deep into the lower dantian area. Bearing in mind, of course, that we cannot breathe air into that point. It's the response of your diaphragm coming down, contracting, and the pelvic floor softening there. So feel the breath really deep. Some of these things often happen, I find, when I'm working, in that I was thinking about what we were doing this week in these two classes, and I wanted to come back to balance, bringing the body back to balance. And Andrew Ritchie, who did the heart rate variability Lunch and Learn for us, also is a colleague, is one of our coaches. He sent me a podcast by Andrew Huberman, who is a guy in Stanford. He's a neurobiologist. Had to get the word right there, think of the right word. A neurobiologist. And he, with this podcast, I'll send you the link on the bottom of this one, they was talking about balance and how in order to achieve neuroplasticity, i.e. learning better, is to actually make errors. And it was a fascinating podcast. So what we'll look at on Thursday in the movement is some of the balance stuff that we've done where we're challenging our balance, because it means that your brain is relearning new movement patterns or new neurological connections. But one of the exercises that Andrew Huberman uses for balancing the breath is called the Physiological Sigh. And we'll do a couple of the physiological sighs now. So how we do that is a breath in. Now I'll make a sound so you can hear the sound, but you don't have to do a big full draw breath in. So you breath in, and then you top that breath up quite quickly. So it's 2 breaths in, and then it's breath out through the mouth. So let's have a little go at that. So get yourself comfortable. And then breath in. And straight away, even just one of those, you should feel, oh, it's really calming. Just let your breath come back to balance. And let's go again. Breath in, and let the breath come to balance. Let's do one more. Breath in, top it up, and then just breathe easy in and out through the nose. Now you can do that. I often do it without the breath out through the mouth, just breath out through the nose. The breath out through the mouth is seen in Qigong is more of a cleansing and a clearing breath. It's more of a letting go breath is how I see it. It's not to be confused with mouth breathing, which is so there's a very deliberate let go. Now, if you look at traits of dysfunctional breathing, we often say that sighing is a trait of dysfunctional breathing. That's if someone is constantly sighing, if there's a regular sigh, because that means that your body's desperately trying to bring itself back to balance. But when you just need that moment just to let go, just to balance, bring yourself back to balance, that's physiological sigh is a really good practice. And I've done that with, I've put a blood pressure monitor on and checked my blood pressure. Sometimes my blood pressure can be a little bit high. I've done a couple of those, check your blood pressure comes down. So that's anecdotal, that's what my experience has been. But if anybody uses a blood pressure monitor, you might just want to have a little play with that. To finish off with, what I'd like to do now is to do some box breathing. So we haven't really done box breathing before, but box breathing again is great for bringing you back to that calm alertness. So what we're going to do is we'll do 4 breaths in. So box breathing is literally that, you breathe as a box. So we'll do a count of 4 in, we'll do a count of 4 hold, so you hold the breath at the top for a count of 4, count of 4 out, and a count of 4 pause at the bottom of the breath. I was listening to another podcast, or I think it was a meditation at the weekend, and I actually really liked the way they differentiated a hold and the pause. I've often said to you, pause the breath rather than hold the breath. But it's actually quite good to think at the top, you're holding something, you're holding the breath. At the bottom, you're just pausing. So see if that resonates for you, see if that works for you. I'm just going to use a metronome to count. So you can just use a metronome or you can just count in your head. But I think it's quite nice to have a rhythm to go with, because the box breathing helps with rhythm and control of the breath. So get yourself comfortable again. Make sure you are connected through the sitting bones to the surface that you're sitting on. Lift and lengthen the spine. Tune in first with your breath naturally. Just let the breath be natural. It's always nice just to focus on those 2 points. Nostrils, I can feel it. I can feel that physical sensation of the air, of the energy entering my body. And then lower dantian, where you can really feel rooted and grounded. So I'm going to put this on. It might cut out again if the microphone cuts out any background noise, but I'll count you through it. So in, hold, 2, 3, 4, out. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, breathe in, hold, out, pause, in, hold, and out, pause, breath in, hold, out, pause, in, hold, out, pause, in, hold, out, pause, in, hold, out, pause, in, hold, out, pause. We'll do one more, and in, hold, out, and pause. And then just breathe easy. Just let the breath settle, be natural, be calm. Keeping your eyes open. Again, we want that sense of calmness but alertness. And then give yourself a little stretch if you need a stretch. Those stretches that we did at the very beginning you can do in a sitting posture, which is really good. You can do all of these in a sitting posture as well, so a little bit of a stretch. And we will finish there. So thank you for your time, thank you for your attention and joining class today. On Thursday, as I say, we're going to go back to some of our balance work. So we're going to be playing around with that single leg balance, some of the Qigong balance exercises, and just challenging ourselves a little bit. So I will see you then. If you've got any questions, drop them underneath the playbacks here, and I'll send you that link again to the Andrew Huberman podcast. It's well worth a listen. It'll be really useful to listen to that before Thursday, actually. Have a good day. Hope you're feeling all balanced, relaxed, and calm and alert, and I'll see you Thursday. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.